Well, hello there. Welcome back to Maelstrom Wanderings Bifrost. There's one character it's very important to get an understanding of when we're talking about Norse mythology, and that's Odin. As head of the Norse pantheon, most people think of him as some big-time war god, but just as many, if not more, stories depict him as a seeker of wisdom and quite the cunning trickster. And of course, Kaldheim has its own counterpart to Odin, Alrund, god of the cosmos, who is just as important to the Skodi as Odin is to the Aesir. So let's get to know the two of them and see what secrets they have to share. Alrund is among the oldest of the 12 gods, and father to around half the others. He was born with wisdom enough to know there was still more to learn, and soon set out to do just that. With his brother Yorn to help guide him, Alrund set out to fight each and every cosmos monster throughout the realms, learning the secrets each of them held as he went. With his task complete, he now observes the realms through more conventional means, often traveling among mortals in disguise. His raven familiar, Haka, helps him commune with all the ravens on Kaldheim, as they gather omens and secrets for Alrund's ears only. Why Haka and Alrund have one eye each? Well, I'm sure that's a story he'd love to tell himself. Alrund can be difficult to talk to when lost in thought, but otherwise he loves feasting and storytelling as much as any Kaldheimer. Odin, seen here as portrayed by Anthony Hopkins in the Thor movies, is quite the complex individual, but his defining feature is his obsession with obtaining further knowledge. When he wished to know secrets of the future and the past, he sacrificed an eye to the Well of Mimir to obtain sight beyond sight. When he wanted to learn the runes of magical power, he sacrificed himself to himself on Yggdrasil, hanging there for 9 days until the runes appeared before him. And when the mead of poetry had been taken by giants, he used his cunning and his shape-shifting skills to bring it back to Asgard. While his two ravens, Hugin and Munin, travel throughout the realms and report back to him every day, Odin often likes to travel the lands himself, especially Midgard. There's many a tale of a human king being rewarded for showing kindness and deference to a cloaked stranger in a wide hat, or being punished for their arrogance and callousness. In the end, though, all of Odin's tricks couldn't save him from the wolf Fenrir, who devoured the god in the Battle of Ragnarok. Alrund's card reflects some of the strongest parallels between himself and Odin: his search for wisdom, his affinity for ravens, and his ability to interpret future omens. The card has two sides, Alrund himself on one, and Haka on the other. Haka can be sent out to scout ahead early to discover secrets of the future and bring them back to Alrund. Then, once you play the god, all your knowledge becomes his strength. Quite literally. He grows stronger for each card in your hand and each card you've foretold to play on a later turn. And at the end of your turn, you get to predict what's coming soon from your deck. Maybe you know what's next thanks to Haka, or maybe you're just really hoping for something specific. If you're right, you're rewarded with yet more cards in hand, more knowledge, and more strength for Alrund. Quite the interesting fellow, this leader among gods. Hopefully you've enjoyed meeting him, and maybe learned a little something in the process. That's certainly Alrund's favorite thing to do. Join me next time when I tell you the story of a war between gods. Who won? Who lost? And who just called it a draw and went home? You'll find out soon. Until then, dream big, embrace variance, and imagine the possibilities.